Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is January 23rd, 2025, and Barcelona are considering playing the Clasico match outside of Spain. Also, Eric Garcia has decided to stay at the club. And finally, I will update you on what's going on with Ansu Fati because both Deco and Hansi Flick have met with the player on separate occasions. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo and we'll begin this video with the news that Deloitte have released their annual report of the highest earning football clubs in the world. Now, in case you don't know who Deloitte are, they are one of the biggest consulting firms in the world. It's one of the top 4 consulting firms in the world. And as always, they release an annual report that showcases the highest earning football clubs in the world, and this is the report for the year 2025. As you can see, Real Madrid are sitting in first place with €1 billion, and with this, Real Madrid have become the first club to generate over €1 billion in a single season, and that has to do, of course, with the reopening of the Santiago Bernabeu at full capacity, which has seen a dramatic increase in Real Madrid's income. Now, in second place is Manchester City, followed by PSG, Manchester United, Bayern Munich, and all the way down in sixth place is FC Barcelona with €760.3 million, dropping 2 spots because Barcelona were in fourth place in last year. Now they're in sixth with a decrease in profits of approximately 5%, which translates to approximately €40 million. And that, of course, has to do with the fact that Barcelona had to play the entire last season at Montjuic. And that, of course, saw a decrease in the club's profits. But hopefully, as soon as the Spotify Camp Nou reopens, we can see an increase in the annual revenues of the club. Now, the FCB Femení, or the FC Barcelona Femení, remained the #1 highest earning women's football team in the world for the 3rd year in a row, and one of the very few clubs who actually generated a profit, versus there are many women clubs who continued to suffer losses. Now, speaking of Barcelona, Real Madrid, and the Camp Nou, since I did just mention it, Barcelona are considering playing El Clasico match outside of Spain. Now, as you know, the Camp Nou was supposed to reopen last year in November with a 60% capacity. That was pushed later on till December, then till February, and now it looks like it's going to be pushed all the way until the end of April, with Barcelona applying for an extension to continue playing at Montjuic until the end of April. However, come May, Montjuic will not be available for Barcelona because they do have concerts and events planned at the stadium. And of course, we do have that El Clasico match that is set to be played on May 11th. And if the Camp Nou is not ready, Barcelona are considering taking the match outside of Spain and playing in a neutral stadium in a European city, because Barcelona need a big stadium, given that El Clasico match, attracts a lot of audience. It's also a match that generates between 8 to 10 million euros, so you need a proper stadium that can host all the people that want to see it. Now, this is not a final decision, and as such has not been communicated to Real Madrid or La Liga, both who will have to agree to this move. And I gotta tell you, that's pretty crazy to me, because, playing at home, it's a big advantage, but having to play it somewhere else where the crowd is going to be, probably 50-50 versus mostly home fans, takes away the advantage. Plus, there's the traveling, which, of course, takes its physical toll on the players. Plus, God knows how much whatever stadium we pick is going to end up charging us to rent this. So all I hope is that the Camp Nou will be ready by May, because I would hate to see that Clasico match being played somewhere else. Anyways, let's move on to the next bit of news, because, ladies and gentlemen, Eric Garcia has decided to stay at the club after meeting with Hansi Flick. But before we discuss that bit of news, I would like to remind you to please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. All of this helps this channel continue to grow. Also, if you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure to Goal Kits, Kit Bag, or Fanatics. If you are looking to place any sports bets, make sure to bet us. All links are down below in the description. If you click on them, you do get access to some pretty cool deals and offers. Anyways, let's get back to the news because, ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Garcia has decided to continue at Barcelona after being very close of leaving during this winter transfer market. Now, Eddie Garcia was close to leaving Barcelona in the summer transfer market after having a successful season on loan at Girona. However, Hansi Flick blocked that move after Marc Bernal, Andreas Christensen, and Ronald Araujo got injured. And Eddie Garcia was important during the month of September, playing in many matches under Hansi Flick, but unfortunately he injured his hamstring, and by the time he recovered, his recovery had coincided with the recovery of Gabi, Frankie de Jong, and Ronald Araujo, and as such, Eddie Garcia saw his minutes diminish. Now, with the decrease in Eddie Garcia's minutes, the player contemplated leaving Barcelona, and he discussed that with the club, and the club, of course, respecting the player, decided that, hey, if you want to leave, that's fine, we'll listen to offers. Of course, Barcelona did negotiate with Girona and Como, Girona making a €5 million offer, which was immediately rejected, and then Como making a €7 million offer, which was also rejected because Barcelona were looking for a minimum of 10 to 15 million euros. Now, after the match between Barcelona and Benfica in the Champions League, where Eddie Garcia scored that heroic fourth goal, Hansi Flick met with the player, where Flick told Eddie Garcia that he counted on him, that he thought he was an important player, and where Flick told Eddie Garcia that he was very happy with his performance both during training and on the pitch. And after that conversation, Eddie Garcia made up his mind that he was going to stay at Barcelona because he was very happy with the meeting that he had with Hansi Flick. So as such, Eddie will continue at Barcelona unless there's some drastic change in plans. But for now, Eddie will stay at least until the end of the season, which means that Barcelona will have to look for a different alternative to sign Marcus Rashford, because as you might recall, Barcelona have to offload someone to sign Marcus Rashford on loan. Since Eddie Garcia is not going to leave, the other option is Ansu Fati, which I do have an update in regards to the Barcelona player. And now it seems that Deco has met with Ansu Fati during these past few days in order to discuss the player's future, where Deco communicated to Ansu stating that it's best for the player if he goes somewhere else because he's not getting the minutes. It's not looking like he's going to be getting the minutes anytime soon, given that Hansi Flick doesn't count on him. And as such, Deco communicated to Ansu that perhaps it will be better to go somewhere else to look for minutes. And it wasn't just Deco who met with the player, but Hansi Flick also met with Ansu Fati, where the German coach communicated to Ansu that he did not think the player was ready physically or mentally for the demands that Flick's system requires of players. And in fact, we've all heard those reports where during training, Ansu just he doesn't play with that much intensity, doesn't seem to want to exert himself. He doesn't try to pressure. He doesn't kind of come down and recover. And Flick has noticed that, and as such told the player that he does not think that he's ready mentally or physically for the demands or high demands of his system. Now, Ansu Fati's entourage, who have always supported him and encouraged him to continue fighting for a spot in Barcelona, are now pressuring the player to leave. They're trying to make him see that it's best to go somewhere else, that he needs to be getting playing time, that he cannot be wasting away his career years. But so far, Ansu Fati is insisting on saying, but we will see whether his meeting with Flick, his meeting with Deco, and the pressure from his entourage will change his mind, because after all, Deco did meet with Jorge Mendes in Lisbon, and Jorge Mendes promised Barcelona that he would help the club find a new destination for Ansu. But of course, the only thing standing in the way is Ansu Fati himself. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. I did upload another video before this one, so make sure to check it out. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. And as always, Visca Barça.